Yes, so I'm Oluwakemi Ajayi. I'm the founder of Giant Strides EduTech Consulting Limited. So at Giant Strides, we have four pillars. We have the kids tutoring arm. We also have the teacher accelerator program. That is an help initiative for teachers when we teach them online teaching, uh, graphics designing, ebook creation, different things. We teach them with just registration fee, free trainings. That's what we do in our teacher accelerator program. And we also have a physical event in our teachers accelerator program. And the third arm of Giant Strides, which brought us here today, is the Techy Teacherpreneur community. We also have a community of teachers. What do we do there? We have this uh impression. Yes, we have this mandate to make teachers professional educators, to make them tech tech savvy, and to make them entrepreneurial. So different we send different resources there, maybe books, uh application, anything that can benefit them. And we also have this arm that we do a regular, that's every month training for teachers, every month training for teachers. And then the fourth arm is the Giant Strides Help Initiative. So you're welcome once again. I know you'll be blessed. I know you will get a lot of gain from coming. So let's take a moment to pray as we start. Everlasting God, we worship you for today. We thank you for your mercies over our life. We commit this training into your hands. We pray that you take absolute control. Everything that will be done will be according to your will in the name of Jesus. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. So you're welcome once again. I said my name is Oluwakemi Ajayi. I know people will join us as we go on. And today we'll be having our guest, a very important person, Mr. Felix Asha. So I was saying a little story. I don't know that I was muted. I said the first time I met him was on LinkedIn. Yes, that's the benefit of LinkedIn. Oh, you meet a lot of people. You meet CEOs, people you can never meet. Maybe when you meet them in real life, they will just, the bodyguard will just, no, 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 protocol, don't meet them. But LinkedIn will make you meet them. You can just send a request to them and you just. So I met him when he posted, I think he posted something like job anniversary, that he has been working for Avicenna for so number of years. I can't remember. He will tell us when it comes on. And I was like, yes, I've heard of this school. I know someone that works there. One of my colleague, the mom works there. And anytime they want to talk about that, my colleague, they will say, the mommy that is an admin in a school and is earning so amount. Like we that were teachers in that my school, the mom is earning times four of our salary as just an admin. I was like, oh, this is this school. Let me meet him. I want to start working there. So I met him. We did a lot. We spoke. He was so friendly. And eventually, I don't want to work there again, but I know many people will learn from his wealth of wisdom. Let me read his profile to us. Who is Mr. Felix? Is a seasoned education advocate, edtech consultant, and data enthusiast with over 14 years of experience in the education sector. Yes, he has 14 years experience in the education sector as a leader in the educational transformation. Felix specializes in knowledge transfer, career coaching, and empowering educators to excel increasingly in the technological driven landscape. Currently serving as the head of curriculum at Avicenna International School, Lagos, Nigeria, he spearheads curriculum reform and educational leadership initiative. He also contributes his expertise as a top mentor in Flexi Learn International Limited. Someone was asking a question on the group. I said, just make sure you come for this training. All the questions you're asking, come and ask. And let me just, then he has his own company. Yes, his influence reaches beyond his primary roles. He has mentored emerging leaders through the ICCP, YAPI, that's Youth in Animation and Post-Production Initiative programs. He has also served as a lead mentor in international career coaching programs intervention delivered to students in 14 Nigerian universities by Lancaster University and funded by the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office of the UK government. I told you he's not a small person. Supported by the British Council and National University, that's NUC. Mr. Felix, is also a husband and a father. So let's put our hands together today as we welcome Mr. Felix Asha as he leads us on. Thank you, sir. Let me look for him, and I meant to make him a co-host. Sorry for that. So you can unmute now, sir. Please, let's send our emojis to welcome him so that we'll know that people are here. Can you unmute now, sir? Yes. Please send your emoji. Tell him welcome. Let him know that he is coming to deliver value to us. Thank you so much, sir.
All right. Good evening. Told, my name is Felix Archer, and we're going to have an hour also together this evening. The topic we're talking about is a loaded topic. It's difficult to cover a topic like this in a day, but then we'll see how we can make justice to it. I think I've tried to summarize everything therein so that we will be able to touch as many things as possible. I'll share my slide. Let me share my screen now so we can dive into the discussion. Please, I'd like to share my slides. All right, thank you. Okay, you've already gotten an introduction of who I am. And so that's me, Felix Archer. So without much ado, I just move to our discussion. So we are looking at understanding global school curricula for career opportunities in highbrow schools. Now, why is this study necessary? This study is necessary this evening, or this seminar is necessary because we want to do all we can to, prepare you and, if possible, provoke your thoughts, to refuse to be less of yourself, to refuse to remain in your comfort zone, to refuse to give in to maybe remaining at the level you are. And so that's why we want to see what we can do to, dissect this topic very well. So, why global curriculum? Why does it matter? Why do we have to talk about a global curriculum? Now, it's important we talk about this global curriculum because as a person, global curriculum matters to your career. If you remain at the level you are, you cannot grow. And so what global curriculum does to you, if you embrace it and run with it, is that it gives you professional prestige. You see, today so many people are not proud of what they do. Some people go to gatherings, they cannot introduce themselves as teachers. Why? Maybe because of where they found themselves, the schools where they teach, and so they are ashamed of the profession. But I tell people, beating my chest with shoulder high, that I'm an educator anywhere I go to. I am proud to be an educator because I know no other profession would have existed without an educator. So just like a banker will walk into a room with shoulder high and say, I'm a banker, or maybe a doctor walk into a room and say, oh, I'm a doctor. So I can walk into a room, meet with anybody, interact with them, and without being ashamed of myself and my profession, I'll tell them I am an educator. Yes. So global curriculum will help you, build your prestige because it will help you elevate your professional status. Wherever you go, people will respect you for who you are because you also know what you are doing. How does global curriculum add to your career growth? It also enhances your pedagogical skills. You will master innovative student-centered teaching methods. In global schools, you don't go there as the almighty of the class, as the all in all in the class. You go there, you go to the class to facilitate. Like someone would say, you go there as, as a facilitator by the side, not a sage on the stage. When you use the global curriculum, it broadens your horizon and it helps you to deliver lessons the way you should deliver the lesson. Global curriculum, now, it's like a passport to every part of the world. You teach using the global curriculum, you can go anywhere, anytime, to any school globally. Any country you want, you go there, you will be able to deliver your lesson, and you will also be respected. That's what a global curriculum does to you. It gives you that global mobility so you can switch, you can move. I know of people, I have friends that have worked almost in all the international schools in Lagos. And from Lagos now, they have moved outside the country. I have friends working in Japan as teachers. I have friends in the UK as teachers. I have friends in Canada as teachers. I have friends in US as teachers. I have friends in the Middle East as teachers. They were all teachers in Nigeria. Not that they go to those countries before they became teachers. No, they were teachers in Nigeria, but they knew their onion. And so they were able to move out to other countries globally, and they are still making impact in those countries. Yes, if it were to just be the Nigerian curriculum, the local curriculum, I can tell you for sure that it would have been very difficult for them to be making impact globally, because they expose themselves to the global curricula, just like we are discussing this evening. They have been able, to get to the top level of their career. Now, why do you need the knowledge of this global curriculum? Networking. It helps you to join a community of like-minded educators, communities of educators who are ready to make impact. They are not comfortable at the level they are. They don't feel they have gotten to the highest level. Educators that have made up their mind that they are going to remain lifelong learners, and they keep making impact on a daily basis. That's what the global curriculum does, and that's why it matters to you this evening. So I've given just this few points. Lastly, the intrinsic reward. Yes, it might be challenging, but then you will cash out. Just like you have been told, there are people in Nigeria, teachers in Nigeria, earning up to ₦1 million. There are teachers in Nigeria earning 700, 800 thousand monthly. So why will you settle for 30K per month? Why will you settle for 50K per month? Why will you settle for 100K per month? When people, some may not even be as smart as you are. Some may not even have the content knowledge of their subject area the way you do. But because they were able to expose themselves to this global curriculum, today they are living a good life. They are living a better life. And that's why you also need to embrace this global curriculum. So I would advise that you take everything we'll be talking about this evening seriously. And after that, be intentional and strategic about everything. And I can assure you, in the next couple of months, the story will change for you. All right, so now let's look at the global education landscape. What does it look like? Yes, when you talk about global curriculum, we have the International Baccalaureate curriculum. What's this curriculum all about? It is an inquiry-based curriculum. It is holistic in the sense that it develops a total child, not just academics alone, co-curricular activities and other aspects of education. So a total child. That's why it's said to be holistic. Now, it also focuses on developing critical thinkers. As a student, when you go, every student that goes through this curriculum ends up being a critical thinker. Why? Because there is intentionality in the delivery of the lesson. So it's a curriculum you may want to embrace if you want to grow, if you want to work globally as a teacher, you want to make impact globally as a teacher. It's a curriculum you have to embrace. Now, this curriculum, as you can see, has 4 programs. The primary year program, that's the PYP. PYP means primary years program, and that's for children between the age of 3 to 12. Then we have the middle year program, that's for between 11 and 16 years. Then the DP means diploma program, and then we also have career-related program. Now, the diploma program and career-related program are for students people between 16 and 19 years. The difference between the two is that for the diploma program is, to prepare students for university education. While the career program is for those that, they want to go into career, it broadens their horizon in that area. So it's it's a global curriculum used in major schools worldwide. Then we have the Cambridge Assessment International Education. It is also another global curriculum. Now, it's rigorous but flexible. But it has a strong focus. Strong focus. And the strong focus is to ensure that children are also balanced. They get balanced education. At the end of this Cambridge assessment, it culminates with what we call the IGCSE, International General Certificate of Secondary Education. That's at year 11. At year 11, the students will take that exams, and then after that, they go for A-levels. A-levels is basically for 2 years. Now, IGCSE, this curriculum, the Cambridge Assessment International Education, how the curriculum also is structured. You have the primary, you have lower primary, upper primary. Secondary also, you have the lower secondary and the upper secondary. Now, what it does is also, it builds on previous levels. So it's a build on the previous one. Secondary is a build on the curriculum. Where the Nigerian curriculum is teacher-centered and rote learning, the IB curriculum is student-centered and inquiry-based. The Cambridge curriculum is balance, skills building, building skills. The American curriculum is holistic, project oriented, and then the British curriculum is structured. Assessment, yes, Nigerian curriculum, yes, national exams, regional exams. Why? Is regional. NECO is Nigerian. IB continuous projects and then exams. Cambridge, you have the IGCSE and A-level exams. America, you have the continuous and the AP exams, like I did say earlier. And then so on and so forth. So focus, Nigeria curriculum, yes, content mastery, national values, the IB is international mindedness, critical thinking, global perspective. Broad skills. Then then for the British, you have the analytical rigor there. Now, what are the opportunities in these highbrow schools we are talking about? The opportunity there is that there is room for growth. That's what separates your subject, where you subject specific, because you teach based on the subject level. You may be taking, yes, you may be a class teacher for year 3, but you might just be taking literacy, or you might just be taking numeracy, which is math, or you might be taking other subject, global perspectives, and all of that. But it doesn't stop there. From there, you could move to becoming a curriculum coordinator. You could move to becoming the head of department. You could move to becoming a key stage coordinator. From there, you could move to pastoral roles, middle management level. Then you could get to upper management level as a principal, the vice principal, and heads as the case may be. It could even be specialized roles. In terms of you are in charge of STEM, you are in charge of the EdTech department, you are in charge of the special educational needs department, so on and so forth. So there is room for growth. In these schools, there is progression. You can't, except you are not intentional and strategic in your dealings. If you're intentional and strategic, you will grow. For instance, I am in Avestina School. By the mercy of God and by the grace of God, I serve as the head of curriculum. But I joined the school as an ICT teacher. Yes, I joined as an ICT teacher, but I was intentional. I was strategic. From ICT teacher, I was elevated to key stage 2 coordinator, overseeing the activities in year 3, 4, 5, and 6, while still doubling as my ICT teacher that I was employed to be. From key stage 2 coordinator, there was an opportunity, there was an internal vacancy, an advert for deputy head. And I applied with others. And by the mercy of God, I got the promotion. After it wasn't automatic. There was interview process, there was a presentation phase where we made presentations, and then we now face panels for interview and the rest. And I was privileged at the end of the day to scale through. And that's how I became the deputy head of the school. And then there was also another opportunity. The head of curriculum was elevated, and that position was vacant. And in fact, it was a miracle. I was just called and told that, oh, there is a vacant position. Some people have been interviewed. They want to give me the opportunity if I'm interested. you get the position? I said, yes. I said, I'm interested. So they said, okay, can they go on with the interview? I said, yes. Unplanned for, just on the spot. And in fact, because I also take my work seriously, the day it happened, I was not meant to be at work. It was during the holiday period. Then I just felt there's something I need to go do in school. And I went to school. And nearly I got to school, it wasn't up to 3 minutes. I got a message from the principal, you are needed in school now. I said, sir, I'm in school. And the next thing was, meet us in the chairman's office. And I got there. And the chairman said, oh, yeah, we're intervening for so post. And I feel we should also give you an opportunity if you are interested. I said, yes, I am interested. And they said, okay, are you ready for an interview now? I said, no problem. And the interview started there and then. So there was no prior notice to say, oh, go prepare and all of that. But because I am intentional, I know the courses I have been taking will get to that level. I have been taking courses. And in fact, what helped me, the questions I was asked from the beginning to the end, I just discovered was from a course I took 3 weeks before that time. I registered for that course and I had just like 2 days to the end of the course. I have not gone even halfway. And I told myself, no, I must finish the course. So I had 2 sleepless nights to complete that course. I just wanted to complete the course because I have registered. I didn't know it was going to fetch me the next opportunity. And that's how I took the course. And then all the questions I was asked, I got the answers from that. And at the end of the interview, the chairman was like, well, I don't think there's any need getting any other person. Give him the job. And that's how I became the head of curriculum. So it is growth. Like I said, I started from teaching, class teacher, until I got to that level now. And I have not relented. I'm still pushing as if I have not started. So that's the good thing with the global curriculum. You have room to grow. Okay, let's go to the next slide because of our time. Now, what are the salaries and perks that you get in this global curriculum? There are a lot of benefits. In Nigeria, like I told you before, the minimum you could get is 300K, and that is if you cannot bargain. Because some of these places, entry level is your ability to bargain. But then there are people earning something good. And then you have your pension. Pension, you are contributing like 10%, and no, you're like 8%, and the organization is contributing like 10% in the case of Nigeria. You have your pension, you have the health insurance. For some of the international schools, you have free transportation to and fro on a daily basis. For some, you may even have an accommodation. For some, you have free lunch. All of this adds to the salary, the good salary you are getting. But where you are earning 50,000, 100,000, 150,000, and you still pay for your transport, you still pay for your feeding, you still pay for your medicals, you don't have any pension opportunity. And you're missing out. And these are things you can get all by just being intentional and upgrading yourself. Yes. Now, for schools like UAE and Qatar, you earn about $2,500 to about $6,000 monthly. Monthly. Like I told you, I have friends there. They left from Nigeria to that place. And they have free return, they have return tickets to Nigeria during summer and back. They have tax-free for UAE tax-free. You know, these are some of the things they are enjoying. In fact, one of my friends in Qatar now, we started together in a school here in Ogba, Lagos, where we were collecting 15,000 naira some years back. I can remember that. We're collecting 15,000. Because God will have it. We all upgraded ourselves and we moved. There are still people in that same school. But we upgraded and we moved. Right? And from there, we kept moving. Today, he's in Qatar, doing better. Right? Why? Intentionality and embracing the global curriculum. The UK and the US, yes, in the UK, you may have a minimum between £30,000 to maybe £60,000 from the information I got. This information I have on screen was from the internet, but I still had to, contact my friends in the UK to know what the salary range is. So you see, it's between £30,000 to £60,000 annually. Then in London is between 50,000 to £80,000, yearly, with other benefits that they enjoy. Then in the US, it's even better. I think in the US you can earn up to $46,000 to $100,000 a year. But the only information I have about the US is they don't pay for summer. So they pay for like 9 to 10 months in a year. But then the money they are paying for that 9 to 10 years is better. It's a good money. So it's only like 2 months they are not paying you in a year. Well, that's for US, according to the information a friend teaching there gave me. So the internet, we are still having a collective internet for selling me my internet network. My network is unstable. You enjoy all of those things there so long as you pay, and the money is there. And you have your credit card to enjoy yourself. So, having said all of this, we have told you why you need to embrace the global curriculum. We have told you why you need to embrace the global curriculum. Now, what are your responsibilities? What are you supposed to do? If you can still hear me, send me, just give me any reactions, or just send any message to the chat area. So I'm sure you can still hear me. All right, thank you. Thank you. Good to know you can still hear me. Now, we have told you what the global curriculums are. At least we've told you about the IB, we've told you about the British, the Cambridge, the British, the American, and so on. So we have told you what these curriculums look like, what the curriculums tend to achieve in students' engagement, and we have told you what schools that use or run this curriculum do, how they take care of their staff members. All of that we have discussed. So, what do you need to do as an individual? What do you need to do? Because looking at all these schools we have talked about, they do a lot of things. They give you opportunity to grow. Growth is part of the things you get there. You see, for me, they're not just like schools. They are not just like jobs. They are like investments. Those schools are like career investments. Yes, to me, they are like career investments. Because you can take good care of yourself. You are happy with yourself. Yes, the work is there. But at the end of the month, you know why you are working. So what do you do as an individual to position yourself? What do you do? Now, sorry, while giving the wages and the rest, I didn't talk about there are other places. In fact, I contacted a friend in a friend in Japan. And then she said what they pay monthly there in Japan is about 2.4 to 3.6 million yens, which if converted to Nigerian naira is 25 to 37 million per annum. I just got that information this morning. I chatted out this morning. I said, just give me the salary range. So you can imagine somebody you went together with just like 2 years ago now is getting up to 37 million naira a year with other benefits, and you are still struggling to get 1 million naira a year. I think it's something you should be angry about. Yes, that's the major reason. I want to provoke your thought. It's something you should be very, very angry about. You shouldn't be comfortable. Shouldn't be comfortable. You need to rise up to the task. and do what is expected. I'm a Christian. It's just like the leopard in the scriptures, in the Bible. Sorry to bring that in. They say, why sit we here till we die? We cannot sit here and die. We have two options. If we go to the city, it's either we die or we get something for ourselves. And if we sit here, we'll end up dying. So why not go to where I have two options, to die or get help? So that's the mindset I want you to get this evening. That's the mindset, right? The mindset. What do we do? Positioning yourself. Your CV, first of all, is your marketing tool. It's where you start from. Your CV is your marketing tool. Now, means you need to work on your CV. The language in your CV will change. If I am to conduct an interview, the first thing to do is to filter CV. In fact, that I did this week. Or no, last week. Thursday, Friday last week, I filtered CVs for some interviews. There are some people I didn't bother contacting because as far as I'm concerned, their CV didn't speak the language I was looking for. So when you are doing your CV, you are using language that the international schools use. Use their language, speak their language. Things like inquiry-based learning, differentiated instruction, assessment for learning. These are the things they do. If it is assessment for learning, if it's assessment of learning, then you say, oh, you did this, you tailor the assessment for learning in this format to check the understanding of the student. You reframe your experience on your CV. You use the language, then the next thing you reframe the experience. You don't just list things there. I taught social study. I taught the student mathematics. I taught the students ICT. I taught the students geography. No, you are a facilitator. I facilitated student-led projects that improved their critical thinking skills. I facilitated some project that led to, this improving the problem-solving skills of the students. You reframe the experience, use the right language. And of course, certification. You go for certification. If you want to teach the IB curriculum, there are IB certifications you need to take. You want to teach the Cambridge curriculum, there are certifications you need to take. The IGCSE certifications are there. You want to teach the American certificate, you do it then, you get certifications. At times it baffles me to see that a teacher will move from one session to the next session without taking any program. I can bet you now, there are teachers somewhere there. They saw this advert. They saw this advert for this free training. Then they left it. They are somewhere watching football. There are some somewhere just scrolling through TikTok when they should use their time productively. They've seen a seminar. Oh, let me go engage and see how it helps me. No. I go for seminars, I see the room scanty. Free conferences, free workshops. Teachers will not embrace it to learn. So how will you grow? Certification, learning, trainings, online. Some of you spend up to 30 gigs a month just going through TikTok. My former boss would say just go checking Bob Risky's page and here and there. That time you can use it to take free online courses that will boost your capability. Then professional summary. Your CV should have a professional summary. You can't be a professional. I won't take you seriously if you're a professional teacher and you don't have your own teaching philosophy. In fact, one of the questions I ask teachers during interview is, what is your teaching philosophy? Even this week, Monday, Tuesday this week, I conducted interviews for teachers. And that was one of the things we were asking, what's your teaching philosophy? because you should be able to think outside the box. What do you want to what do you want to achieve? You should be globally minded in teaching. You don't teach children just to adapt to Nigeria. What happens when they meet people outside Nigeria? What happens? They should be able to engage and sustain conversations. You are the one that will expose them. And how will you give what you don't have? These are the things I should see in your CV. When I am going through your CV to decide if to invite you for an interview or not. Like I said, we needed a numeracy teacher for a primary class. And of all the CVs I scanned, I only managed to see 2. Just 2. A lot of CVs were sent. But it's waste of time to call others because the language there is a wrong language. The experience framing is a wrong one. There are no certifications or training seen there. They don't have any good professional summary. These are the things that international schools will look for in your CV. And the next thing you need to do is to invest in your credentials. Like I told you, you want to teach the IB curriculum, take IB workshops. It's in various categories, but you start with category 1, which is for beginners. Many are available online. You can just go online. Google is your friend. Just type on Google, IB workshops. And then Google gives you suggestions and tells you where you can take them, when you can take them, so on and so forth. It's there. Cambridge certifications, like I said, IGCSE certifications, you can register for them. And then you can also take other Cambridge professional development courses that are there free of charge to boost your understanding. There are so many free courses on safeguarding. There are so many free courses on assessment for learning. There are so many free courses for behavioral management, so on and so forth for technology integration. So you have all of these things at your beck and call. Just that you have not taken the initiative to utilize the privileges you have. Go online, Coursera is there. In fact, when you go to Coursera, you have so many courses you can take. Yes, some are paid. But for some of those ones that are paid, you can also see there that you can apply for financial aid. I have taken some courses on Coursera where I applied for financial aid. All I need to do is give them reasons why they should allow you to take those courses for free. When I started my data analytics journey, I took some courses on Coursera through financial aid before I ended up paying at Art School Africa to do the comprehensive course. But I needed a background knowledge. Free. For teaching also, you will get it. You go to Khan Academy. Khan Academy has so many things there for teachers, free of charge. So you have no reason not to invest in yourself. Even the paid one, there's nothing wrong. When you talk about investment, some of you have gone for seminars where you are told about investment. You are told, okay, you use your 50% of your income, for needs. Use 30% for wants, then use 20% for investment. Taking courses, registering for courses, workshop, conferences is part of this investment. In fact, the best investment you can give yourself is in upgrading and updating your skills. There's nothing wrong for you to budget that, in 2025, I want to spend 1 million naira for courses. I want to spend 500,000 for courses. I want to spend 200,000 for courses. As I speak, I have done that. In July, between July and now, I have registered for 2 courses, paid courses, not free. Why? I need to keep upgrading my knowledge. Because as a teacher, you should be a lifelong learner. Like John Mason will say, once you stop learning, you start dying, irrespective of your age. Then you have Google for Education. There are some certification courses you can take there, free of charge. And then courses on technology integration. You can't work in these eyebrow schools without good grasp of technology and how to integrate technology into your teaching and learning process. Now, I haven't talked about your CV. We've also talked about, investing in your credentials. What are the other things you need to look at? Network. Networking is very important. And not just networking. That's why I use the word network with purpose. You know why you are networking. You're not just networking to make friends. For example, now, Mrs. Kemi has told you, she networked with me on LinkedIn. I'm not supposed to be here today. In fact, when she told me, I told her I am busy this period. And the gospel truth is, I am busy this period. I told her, let's move this training to September. She contacted me last week, Thursday or Friday to be precise. I told her I'm busy this period. Maybe sometimes from between now and September 15, I'm busy because I have other things I have, put in my time for. But she insisted that she wanted this to be done before resumption. And I said, okay, no problem. I had to give in. Why? She networks. If I have not had an interaction with her before, there's nothing she will tell me that I will attend this. In fact, that same week, I agreed to take the seminar. I turned down another seminar. That's just the truth. I turned down another seminar because of my schedule. And the same thing I told her, I can't take it now. But she insisted. And for, relationship's sake, I said, okay, no problem. I'll see what I can do. I had to take it. That's networking with purpose. And that's what you should do. You don't just network with purpose. How is that done? LinkedIn is the key. LinkedIn is the key. Yes, you have other social networking platforms, but LinkedIn is good because it's a professional place. There you can connect with recruiters. There you can connect with leaders. There you can connect with teachers in other international schools. In fact, one of the assignments I will give you is that before the end of next week, connect with at least 5 teachers in international schools, both in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. So that's one of the homework for you to do. One of the things you need to do. Connect with at least 5 teachers. Yes. I don't know where you can say teachers in US, UK. When you go to LinkedIn, you research teachers in US, teachers in UK. It will give you examples. You connect. There are some people that are my mentors. I met them through LinkedIn. As I speak now, I have about at least I have 4 career mentors. 3 of them were through LinkedIn, and I networked with them with purpose. Through them, I have handled. Now I told you about the from my profile. The International Career Coaching Program done in 14 universities in Nigeria, sponsored by Lancaster University. It was through one of my mentors. Yes, I connected with him via LinkedIn. And it was when he was handling a networking section. I connected. I paid in dollars for that mentorship training. I paid in dollars. I would have just seen it and passed like other person, but because I am intentional in what I am doing, I connected and I paid for that mentorship class. And after the mentorship class, there was call for volunteers. I volunteered. And during the process of volunteering, they saw that I was intentional in everything I was doing. And they were wowed. That was how I was able to finally take another mentorship certification program through them and became a certified mentor. And since then, we've been having series of programs. Before the program sponsored by Lancaster, we did mentorship for students, career mentorship for students in Ambrose Ali University, Ekoma, Law Department. We did for students in University of Ibadan, Law Department, about 3 or 4 universities. Before the Lancaster project came, 14 universities. before the MasterCard program for Yapi. You see, then I was intentional through LinkedIn, and I am still intentional. I saw another mentor, I connected with her, I chatted with her. In July, I paid 150,000 to take just a training. Now, I am networking with purpose. The training is not just the only reason I paid. I paid that money, one, to get the training, and then two, to get access to her. That's what purpose is about. So that draws me close to her now. So I can now discuss with her. I can now share ideas with her. In fact, we had a meeting about 2 weeks ago, brainstorming session. I would have used that 150,000 to go and relax somewhere. But I told my host, I network with purpose. So that you need to do. LinkedIn is there to start from. You can join associations. International Society for Technology in Education. It's there. Yes, it will cost you just like maybe $100 for yearly subscription. But it's worth it. The exposure you will get, the community you will join, it's worth it. What's $100 in a year? Some of you spend more than that in buying phone that you don't even use properly. You don't use all the major functions. You invest it. For networking, you can join AAIE. That is Association for the Advancement of International Education. You can join them. Their subscription is from July 1st. July 1st of the year to June 30th of the next year. So it's not late. We are still in July. In August. So you're just a month back. And it's also not expensive. Yes, it should be around maybe $250. The benefit you will get from joining all this, association far, far, far outweigh the amount you are investing. Network with purpose, attend seminars, and attend fairs, both in Nigeria. So many seminars have been organized. People have come up with so many. They are not free. Even though the organizers will tell you it's free, they are not free. The organizers have put in their time to organize those seminars. They have time is fast spent. They have put in their time to organize those seminars. They have gone to use their networking to discuss with people, to take those sessions. They have pleaded with companies to sponsor maybe the payment of the hall, the payment for the refreshment you get and everything. They are not free because they want you to grow. Seize all of these opportunities. Then you can also meet people and just politely ask them for 15 minutes of their time and then get insight from them. There are some people I have spoken to. I spoke to somebody on LinkedIn some times back on him being my mentor. He told me his time was full, but then he gave me we had some conversation. So that little conversation for that period also helped me. So yes, you can go on LinkedIn and solicit. Please, I've gone through your profile and I see the great work you're doing. Please, I will appreciate if I can be your mentor, your mentee, because I want to learn from your wealth of experience. I promise I'm going to keep to all the conditions and everything you want me. It's intentionality. Some will decline, some will accept, and even those that may not even have the time, they will give you one or two advice that will help you. So network with purpose. Want of time, let me go to the next slide. The X factor. Your skills and mindset is also very important if you must work in the schools. Yes, if your CV is great, that's the first step. Yes, if you're able to network, that's the next thing. And your skills and your mindset is important. Your qualifications will give you that opportunity. But what will keep you there in that job? Mindset matters. What is the first thing? Cultural intelligence. What does that mean? Ability to work effectively with students and parents and staff from these diverse cultures. It's an international school. So you need to put your Nigerian mentality somewhere.
For instance, I use Avicenna for instance, since that's where I work. Avicenna is a school with over 42 nationalities. So you have people from over 42 different countries. So you cannot say, for instance, a child say good morning, then you say you did not say sir. That's the Nigerian mentality. How can a small boy like this, he's just 7 years, he's just 5 years, he's just 13 years, he will say good morning to me and he will not put sir. Some of us are that. And that, I don't know, I don't want to use derogatory words, but some of us are like that. But that's not a cultural intelligent approach. It's an international school. You don't go there to yell at students and you start yelling. There are students that have never, since they were giving birth to until now that they are 10, 15 years, nobody has, their parents have never yelled at them. So they don't know. There are some children that, even when there's a little sound, they'll block their ears. The noise is crazy. So you need to have this intelligence to be able to survive in those schools. It's very important. Then in some of those, yes, some of us are so religious. You now say, because I am a Christian, I am filled with the Holy Ghost. Then you go there, you say you must, in your class, you must pray every day with the children. No, you don't do that in international schools. Why? You have people there that are Hindu, you have people there that are pagans, you have people there that are traditionalists, you have people there from different religions. So you can't go and promote your own religion. If you want to pray, nobody will stop you to pray. Pray on your own. They don't bring the students into it. That's being cultural sensitive. And then even in dressing, everything. It's important. Next thing, the mindset, adaptability. You should be comfortable, you should be ready to change. I have worked with people that this is how we do it, where I am coming from. No, where you are coming from is different from where you are now. Every school has its own policy. Every school has its own ground rules. Every school has, their own, documents that they work with. You don't say because it's done like this in the other place, here also I have to do it like that. No. Give it to change. Where I'm coming from, we flog the children, we give them corporal punishment. So I must do it here. No, it's not acceptable. Where I'm coming from, when a child misbehaves, you send him or her out of the classroom. If you send him or her out of the classroom, how will the child learn? The parents paid for the child to be taught. Why will you send the child out of the classroom? So many other things you can, other ways you can, punish that child. You need to be adaptable to changes. It's the growth mindset. Now, inquiry-based facilitation. You are a guide by the side, not a sage on the stage. In fact, when I go for a lesson observation in my school, as a teacher, if you spend more than 20 minutes talking in a lesson of 1 hour, then you are not a good teacher. From the beginning of the lesson to the end of the lesson, you shouldn't speak for more than 20 minutes for a 60 minutes lesson. If you do that, then as far as I'm concerned, you are not the right teacher. You are to guide the children to facilitate their own learning, not to just go there and dish information to the children. In your teaching, there should be room for collaboration. There should be room for peer discussion. The children should come together to discuss in pairs, 2 in 2s. There should be room for group discussion, collaboration. You need to build the children collaborative skill. You need to build their team spirit. Not just going there and dishing information. It's unacceptable. And the place of technology cannot be overemphasized. At times I marveled when I interview a teacher and I say, what tech tools can you use? Because I must always ask that question. And you tell me, I can use YouTube, I play video from YouTube, and I use PowerPoint. That's all. YouTube and PowerPoint, yes, that's introductory. But as a 21st century teacher, you shouldn't be doing all of that. You should use other tools that will make learning interesting and fun to the children. So when learning takes place, not when everywhere is boring. So please, you need to upgrade on your tech skills. Thank God, this training is organized by Giant Stride. They can teach you, train you, reach out to her. And then register. Don't go for just free. Invest. Then the next thing you need to know, one of the other X factor is willingness to plan and teach in teams. Some of you, you want to, in fact, one thing we're going to do in my school, at Vicina International School, we don't believe in the spirit of teacher of the year, the best teacher of the year. No, we don't believe in that, and we don't do it. Our intention, our policy is that everybody, we should build that collaborative spirit. If you are online and you get an idea that will be suitable for somebody, a primary 2 teacher, share it with the teacher. If you get an idea that will be suitable for somebody taking a level, share it with the person. Come together and rub minds on how to make the whole thing work. We work as a team. That team spirit, that's what we do practically. That team spirit is very important to us. And that also will help in curbing so many excesses. Where you have malice, and then maybe you have animosity between teachers because this one is shining and I am not shining, or they are praising this, not praising. All of those excesses will be curbed. Work as a team, collaboration. Even in businesses today, you will see a Todola, you will see Dangote. They can be rivals, but they don't do that. They are together. They're rich, they know these things. Those in business, they know these things. They know the power of collaboration. And that's why you always see them together. Irrespective of their differences, they will come together, rub minds, and everybody go explore. So what stops us from doing it as teachers? You want to be seen as the best teacher. You just hold, you have an information that will be useful. You hold it to yourself, even when you are not going to use it. If I share it with that person, she'll be better than me. You know, no. Then you cannot be in an international school. Collaborative spirit, it's very, very important. Teamwork. So these are things, the X factors, you cannot do without them. Let me keep moving for time. Now, what is the game plan? What should be your game plan? We have done a lot of talking. We've told you what the curriculum is and how you need to work with the curriculum. What do you need to do now? The game plan. There should be a game plan. You need to be strategic. You can't achieve anything good if you are not strategic. You need to plan strategically. What is the first thing you need to do is give yourself, yes, here I say 3 to 6 months. It's not compulsory. You can give yourself a target 1 month, 2 months. Between 1 month, 2 months, I want to know more about maybe the Cambridge curriculum, the IB curriculum, or the English national curriculum, or the American national curriculum. Then you research. Google will give you everything you want. Go online. Then after that, you have skill. You can tell yourself, okay, 6 to 12 months, that's too much. But you can just use that so that you don't pressurize yourself too much if we are not used to all of this rigor of taking courses online. Some of us do it. At times for 2 days, we don't sleep because we have set target before this day. In fact, there was a period I told in 1 day, I did 3 courses online because I needed to tidy up that. So you upskill, you time yourself. You could say 6 to 12 months. Though that is outrageous, but for a start, there's nothing wrong. Your networking is ongoing. Like I said, after this training, go online to LinkedIn, start networking. You can decide, I want to network with 5 people in international school. 1 taking American curriculum, 1 taking British curriculum, 1 taking Cambridge, 1 taking IB. Go there, start something. Start something. Can do it. Can do it. And then the next thing, interview and showcase. Now, yes, you prepare yourself for interview where you showcase yourself. When you go for an interview, it's an opportunity for you to say yourself. From my experience of interviewing people for some years now, you see, some people come there, they cannot say themselves. And I'll be like, oh my goodness. You see that this person didn't, you know where you and your LinkedIn profile. Update your CV and your LinkedIn profile. Now, my LinkedIn, you can follow me on LinkedIn. My name is Felix Archer. Now, on LinkedIn, I'm there. View my LinkedIn profile. You will see how my LinkedIn profile is structured. That's the same thing to do. Optimize your LinkedIn profile. Now, I told you I'm a career coach from what I've told you so far from the beginning. I'm a career coach. And that's one of the things we tell people. Your LinkedIn profile to be optimized. If your LinkedIn profile is optimized, in fact, at times you don't need to apply for jobs. I've been called in so many other international schools in Lagos for job openings, and I declined. I didn't apply. They will call me and say, I am from so-so school. We have so-so opening. We saw your profile on LinkedIn and thought to reach out in case you're interested. And I'll tell them, sorry, I am not ready to move from where I am. And that's because I have my own plans. That's why I am not ready to move yet. Yes, I know if I want to move now, my pay will be more because I'm going to negotiate more. But I have plans. That's why I'm not ready to move. There's my LinkedIn profile. The last one, I just honored the interview because I know I don't want to say no to the person that invited me for the interview. It's a high-profile person in the country. And I just went for the interview. And when I went, because I wasn't really keen about the job, I was passive during the initial stage of the interview. And they were like, oh, what's happening? Is that all you have to say? I just said, well, let me not spoil my reputation. And then I started speaking. At the end of the day, they were like, wow, this is too much. Okay, how much do you want? So when it got to how much you want, I told them, sorry, I'm not ready to move. I just didn't want to decline this invite. That's why I came, because it was online. And then I told them, well, I can consult for you. And I had to push my business, profile to them. Okay, I work with Rethink EdTech Africa, so you can consult me. So that is it. Your LinkedIn profile will sell you, even without you going there. Enroll in one introductory online workshop or course. That's another thing. Because this checklist, I will tell Mrs. Ajayi to ensure you do it for all of you in that group. You can see it's written in bold. Enroll. Enroll. Just go enroll for one online course. Yes. I'm writing it down so I don't forget. Then identify 5 target schools. You start from Nigeria. Then when you start from Nigeria, then you can now talk about internationally. I've told you of friends in Qatar. We work together in Nigeria. Now they're in Qatar, right? At least I have a friend there in Qatar now. I have a friend in the US. We work together in Nigeria. She's now in the US. I have a friend in the UK. We work together in Nigeria. She's now in the UK. I have a friend in Japan. We work together in Nigeria. She's now in Japan. They started somewhere. They started from Nigeria. So you can start. Identify 5 target schools. Remember, this is your checklist. So I need you to write it. Choose one curriculum. Update your CV and LinkedIn profile. Enroll in one training. Identify 5 target schools in Nigeria. You can go online. If you're in Lagos, it's okay. The major schools in major international schools in Lagos, and then you follow them. I'm in Abyssinia. I follow Children International School. I follow Charterhouse. I follow rugby. I also have a friend in Charterhouse. It's that serious. We have worked together, I think, in 3 different schools together. In fact, my friend in Charterhouse, we also work together in a school. My friend in Charterhouse, my friend in Qatar, the 3 of us worked in a school here in Ogba together, where we're collecting 15,000 per month before we upgraded. And then we worked in the one in Charterhouse. Now we worked in 3 different schools together. He's now in Charterhouse. Not just is it now. Most people said, "Oh, people in Charterhouse, all of them entered as teaching assistant." No, he's not. He's the head of one of the departments. Is that serious? In fact, this friend of mine in Charterhouse, I'm telling you, he was in one of the international schools. In that school, if you must leave, you must give 3 months notice. Another school called him and said, "Don't worry, you must give 3 months notice, or you will pay the school for 3 months." A school called him and said, "Okay, we will pay the school for that 3 months. Come to us." And they paid, and he went. He didn't go there for free. He went there, they increased his salary. So upon the fact that they gave him better condition, they paid the previous school for 3 months just to get him immediately. That's to tell you he's good. Now he's in Charterhouse. He started from a 15,000 naira school in Ogba. Then he worked on himself. That's it. I need you to be provoked. Then I said, connect with 3 international educators on LinkedIn. Okay, I wrote 3. I was thinking it's 5. You can start from 3 or you do 5. Anyone, 5 is good. You do Nigeria, you do the UK, you do America, and then maybe you do Canada. I have about 3 colleagues in Canada, teachers. They started from Nigeria. Then, arrange to observe an international school class. It's very important. It's very important. There are some international schools. If you have time, you can go to them. That please, you want to volunteer to work with them, even if it's 1 term. I know people who got into international schools through volunteering. They just say we'll work, and they work for some for like 1 term, 2 term, and while they were there, they learned everything they were supposed to learn, and they put in their best. So when there was opening, the schools were just, okay, you've been with us, and you've been doing a great job, and then they absorbed them. But mind you, they had the qualification. The only thing is they don't have the experience teaching in those places. And so they volunteered. At least I know like 2 as I speak. So there's nothing wrong if you can volunteer. And lastly, you need to start a teaching portfolio. Have a teaching portfolio where you have series of lesson plans. That killing PowerPoints you have, presentation you have that you used to deliver a lesson, that maybe your head said, "Oh, this is lovely. This is out of the box. This is way, way too good." Keep all those portfolios so that when you have an opportunity, you showcase all of them. Very important. So these are some of the checklists. There are so many, but these ones I itemize are the major ones you need. Choose a curriculum, update your CV and LinkedIn profile, enroll in a course, identify 5 target schools in Nigeria and follow them on social media so you see their culture, what they do and how they do things. Connect with 3 international educators, arrange to observe a school, and then start a teaching portfolio. Oh, we are rounding up. I think I have just about 2 slides to go. Now, I need you to know that it always seems impossible until it's done. That's what Nelson Mandela said. You may think it's difficult. No, you can do it. You are more ready than you think. You are more ready than you think. Why do I say so? Your experience is already an asset. You manage large classes. Some of you, maybe in Nigerian curriculum, you have over 50 students in a class. You work with scarce resources. You are able to improvise. You are creative. You don't have things to work with, but you're able to come up with some things you work with to get learning, to ensure learning takes place. So you have those assets already in you that you can leverage on to be better. Some of you have the content knowledge. You are very good at what you do. If you break chemistry down now, any child that listening to you will want to take chemistry. If you break physics down, biology, literature in English, anything, geography, history, once you handle it like this, the students are wowed and it sticks. Then you can be in an international school. You are very passionate. Then you can be in an international school. Right? You focus. Some of you focus. So you can communicate greatly. You have organizational skills. You have empathy. You have leadership skills. These are the skills that are needed in international school. You should be able to hold conversation, communicate properly. Yes. You're organized. No? And then leadership skill. Say hand is up. What's the challenge, please? I can say hand up. Any challenge? Okay, let's continue. I saw a hand up. I thought there was a challenge. Okay, so with these qualities you already have, then you are ready. All you just need to do is to refine yourself. You have all it takes. Just refining yourself will, tell you these recruiters. So in conclusion, having said all we have said so far, for over an hour now, in conclusion, this is my words for you. These highbrow schools are looking for you. They are looking for you. But the difference lies in how you prepare and position yourself. I told you last week, in my school, I was looking for a numeracy teacher for the primary class. I was looking for a teaching assistant for the primary class. I was looking for an ICT teacher for secondary. Looking for economics teacher, looking for music teacher for secondary, because we're expanding and we needed more teachers. But I can tell you what I went through. Yes, the advert is on my page on LinkedIn. People apply through LinkedIn. But I can tell you for free that when I went through the CVs, I felt there was no need calling some of the people I saw there. I only managed to call some that were able to distinguish themselves. There are some CVs I saw, I knew, yes, this person is ready. And they were invited. And the truth is, there are some that even their CV were not properly structured that are good. But the truth is, since the CV is not properly structured, I can't even give it a try because I'm not sure. But that doesn't mean they are not good. They may be good, but they refuse to position themselves. So these highbrow schools are looking for you. But the difference lies in you preparing yourself and position yourself. So please, all we have said this evening is there are practical steps some of us have taken that worked for us. And we'll be glad to see you take the steps. I can tell you for free, the top it's lonely at the top. Schools are looking for people. Charterhouse will be starting a secondary school this September. They will definitely take, yes, they will take, it's an international school. They'll take people from different countries, but they will take Nigerians too. I told you my friend is there. Rugby will be starting in September. Their A-levels, and then secondary. They'll definitely need teachers. They need you to be there. And you need to position yourself. If you look at rugby then now, Dr. Isa is there. Right? I've been following her for a long time. She was once in CIS. She went to another school in Lekki, Holding Park also. Now she's in rugby school as one of the top heads there. She worked on herself. And with that position, she will get good money with other peck of office. So it's a continuum. You need to invest in yourself, and take everything you have learned this evening seriously. I will stop here for now. Thank you very much for your time. If you have questions and I'm muted, I can take a few questions. Thank you very much.
God, thank you so much, sir. We got too much value. Please, if you are, please, let's appreciate Mr. Felix. I was saying that I even learned a lot myself. Like, is it was too much value. Please, let's send our reactions, our appreciation, thanking him for the class. Let's appreciate it. Too much value. Like, everything was just coming as if I've not heard it before. Did you hear that one? The one that, well, what is important to me is teaching foreign students. That when you talk too much, like 20 minutes out of 60 minutes class, you are not facilitating learning. Yes, thank you so much, sir. We got too much value. Please, if you have questions, just raise your hand. I will unmute. I will ask you to unmute. Raise your hand if you have questions. I know many people. If you have questions, raise your hand. If you want to ask in the chat, please send. There's a question that many people have been asking me that I want to ask myself. Sir, many people want to get this qualification, maybe like IGCSE. I know, must they have it before they can work in international school? That's my question. I don't know if we should just take all the questions. Then, if they want to have it, how will many of them are working in maybe schools that they are paying 25,000? How will they save in dollars and now come and pay like 160, 160? Abi, how will they save their 25,000 to come and pay 160 pounds for IGCSE qualification exam? Then I think that's a question that many people have been asking. Okay, let me ask the first person to unmute. Please unmute. L given. I've asked you to unmute. Can you unmute? You can
All right, good
unmute
evening.
now. Yes,
Yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Good evening, Mr. Felix. Thank you so much for this, for everything you've told us. It's so really enlightening. So, sir, you said something in your words when you were trying to make conclusion. So, I want to ask you, sir. So, you're saying, a few weeks ago or so, a few days ago, that you needed ICT teachers and etc. So, sir, I want to ask you. My name is Nathaniel. So, I want to ask you, can I inbox you via LinkedIn to share you my my CV? If I don't know if you've gotten the ICT teacher already. That's my question, sir.
Okay, yes, we answered. He's noting all the questions. Please, the next person raising, and I will ask you to unmute now. You have a long name. I think is the name of the device. Please unmute. Thank you. DJ VPN. Okay, thank you.
Hello, can you hear me? Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Ma'am Oluwakemi.
Yes, we
Can
can
I
hear
go ahead?
you. You can speak a bit louder, please. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, good evening, Mr. Felix. Well done, sir. Please, can you still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So my question is, for an early years teacher, EYFS for British. So I want to ask, must I have IGCSE, if I'm right? Must I have that, as part of my qualification? Okay, so that's one. My other question is, you mentioned volunteer earlier. So I want to ask, and when you mentioned the volunteering, you also said that the person, okay, maybe if you haven't worked before, but you have the qualification. So what if you've had work experience and you still want to volunteer, probably something happened in between, but you just decide to volunteer in an international school? Will you be, given the opportunity? Okay. So another question, like 3 questions. I was at Avicenna last year, like after my early childhood education at a college of education, okay, for practicum. So it didn't come true. So probably you can as well share light on that one as well. Thank you. That will be all.
Okay, ma. Mrs. Ebube, please, you can unmute and ask your question. Thank you. You can unmute now, yes.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Mr. Felix, for the very insightful time we had with you. Please, sir, I would like to ask, I'm a literacy teacher in grade school, that's grade 1 to 6, and I'm looking to move to an international school very soon. Although, yes, I work in an international school, but of sorts, but I want to go to an actual international school. So my question is, what qualifications do I need to get? Because my niche is in the primary, and most times when these seminars come up, we emphasize on IGCSE. So I'm wondering if that's the qualification I need for grade school. I don't know if my question is clear and I'm still being heard.
Yes, your question is clear, ma. That
Okay.
do you, as an early year tutor, need IGCSE? I think someone has asked that too. Then Mr. King also asked about IGCSE certification. Does IGCSE certification cover for GCSE, especially as an English language and English literature teacher? Okay, the last question will be taken today because of our trainer's time. Please, he's a busy person. Is Mrs. Oladimeji. I don't Miss or Mrs. Please. You can unmute now. Thank you, ma.
Good evening, ma. Good evening, Mr. Felix.
Good evening, ma. We can
Okay, it's been wonderful. We enjoy you. But my quick question to you is like someone without educational certificate, someone that did not read education as a first degree, but had other certificates in education. I've applied something like that in one international school before and it was rejected. So I don't know, is it the same thing everywhere? Because even when I wanted to do IB, I was told that it's either I go for PG D first before I could consider moving into any international school. So I want to hear your view about that, please, sir.
thank you, ma. Over to you now, Mr. Felix. Hello, sir. Okay, let me. You can unmute now, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for the questions. So for the ICT teacher, yeah, I like the smart move, that's a good way of selling oneself. I like that. No darling, no darling. Permit me to use that language. Yeah, so like I said, I was able to get about 3 which were interviewed, and yes, and they have been moved to the next stage of the interview, meaning
they scale through the first stage. Is that okay? So that's it. But then there's nothing wrong if you still chat me up on LinkedIn and drop your CV there. So if at the end we're unable to get any and I review your CV, if it meets the expectations, why not? If not, I will invite you. So there's nothing wrong with that. And then for the EY first person, no, you don't need IGCSE certification is basically subject-based. So for example, those taking geography, history at the senior level, secondary school level. So you don't need IGCSE for primary or EY first. But then what you need to do is to study. If you go online, you will see the syllabus there. That's the good thing about it. So you can download and read and see what is done in all of these stages. Then go online, take trainings on those areas to give you more points. You understand? So that's just it. For instance, if you're an early years teacher, UIFS, they have what they want the children to achieve. Early years is between 3 and 5 years. So for most schools, yes, latest between 2.5 and 3, you'll be in preschool. Between 3 and 4, you'll be in nursery. Between 4 and 5, you'll be in reception. Then from year 5, you can go to year 1. 5, you can go to year 1. And that's one thing about the British curriculum. That's the English National Curriculum. Age is very important. For instance, you cannot get to year 7 if you are not 11 years. You will not be admitted. That's the age. If you are above, you may be considered, but if you are below, you may not. Because it is believed that learning goes with age. The more mature you are for that class, the better it is. So all you just need to do is go research the curriculum. So for you teaching EYFS, you shouldn't be there saying you want the children to be able to do 2 times 1, 2. And in fact, you can't even say 2 times 1, 2. We don't believe in 2 times 1. There's not like 2 times 1. So there's a right language you use when you are teaching multiplication. 2 1s, 2 2s, 2 3s, things like that. Right? So you learn some of those things. The curriculum will show you some of those things. The numbers the children are able to count. You can't say because the child is in reception, he must be able to count and write up to 200, 500. No. You understand? So there's a limit the child can do, what is permitted. The curriculum may tell you up to 50. So if the child can do more than that, it's an added advantage. But you shouldn't feel that is what everybody should do. And that's why in top schools, they always group the children. That's where differentiated learning comes in. You have the emerging, that's those below average. You have the expected, expected. And then you have the exceeding, those above average. And so your lesson must be able to cater for the 3 categories. Those that are struggling, those that are an average, and those that are superb and engaging, such that nobody is left out at any point in time. So when you go for trainings online, these are some of the things you do, because these are some of the questions you may get in the interview. Okay, how will you handle so child? You have a class of 20, this child is not following and all of that. How do you handle it? So you should be able to know, because all the students can never be at the same level. You have the emerging, you have the expected, you have the exceeding, and your lesson must cover all of that. We must be able to meet all of that. If I check your lesson plan, I should see what the emerging will do. I should see what the expected should do. I should see what the exceeding should do. The same topic, they are different level. Then I should see an extension task, because the exceeding will always finish their work before any other person. So what happens? Will they finish their work and now be distracting the class? No. It should be an extension task, so that when they finish what they are doing, they have another meat. Another bone to crack, something that will, require them thinking critically before they're able to solve. So these are little things you check when you take courses online, you'll be exposed to, that will help you for primary and then EYFS. But for the secondary, yes, it's compulsory. You have the certification, the IGCSE certification. It's compulsory. Yes, the IGCSE certification, once you have it, yes, it can be used for GC, from GCSE schools. Yes, you can also use it. It's basically almost the same thing. The only difference, like I said before, is when you talk about the British curriculum is more it's more England specific and focused, while IGCSE is global. Even though it is used, the GCSE is used also accepted to a greater extent. But yes, you can use that same certification. So I think I've answered about 3 questions in one. Now, education background. For top international schools, you must have educational background for you to be given the job. It's compulsory. Now, if you don't have BSc Math, BSc English, or whatever, I mean BSED education, then you have your PGDE. Some schools will consider you. In Nigeria, some schools will consider you. So long as you have your postgraduate diploma in education, yes, you'll be considered if it's BSc. So BSc and postgraduate diploma in education, acceptable. The BSc, no postgraduate diploma in education, most international schools will not take you, except you are excellent. You're able to sell yourself to the point that they can't allow you go. If you're able to sell yourself to that point, they will give you the job, but they will tell you to immediately go and register for your postgraduate diploma in education. So it's a condition. Now, for those that may want to work globally, for some schools globally, if you don't have BSc in education, they may not take you. It also depends. Because I have a friend, she was supposed to go to Qatar, one of the schools, but because her BSc is not ED, that was what disqualified her. So when they got to that point, she has done everything. It was when they got to that point that she was disqualified. Then she has her PGD, she even has her PGIC, International Diploma, but then in education, but they said no, your BSc must be in education. Now, for some places, it's because it's not just you delivering the lesson. There are some things they would have taught you in education classes that they expect you to be able to apply. That's why they insist on that. But for major Nigerian schools and international schools, once you have your PGDE, you can get it. And if you don't have your PGDE, you can register for it, right? You can register for it. Then, is there any other question I have not answered?
The one on volunteering, sir.
Okay, volunteering.
Then also on TFCN.
On what?
On TFCN.
Okay.
Someone asked the question that. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. For volunteering, yes, it's subject to availability of space. It's not automatic. For example, for a school that is overstaffed already, they may not want to get a volunteer again. Not because some schools will not even pay you. The only thing they give you is maybe lunch, transportation, and all of that. Some may not even give you anything. Now, to an extent also, there's a specific number of students that the teachers that will be expected in a class. If you have too many adults also in the class, it's not too good. No, so these are some of the considerations that can be put in place. I mean, that some schools put in place. Then TLCN. Yes, TLCN is very important. Some schools may excuse you and tell you to go register, but some schools will insist. Some schools will insist that you have your TLCN. Some may allow you in and then you go get it. But I think to be on the safe side, so that you wouldn't have concluded the interview, and when you are to start, they say, you cannot because of this. Just get your checklist ready. Get the TRCN, register for a postgraduate diploma in education. You can do online courses. ABU distant learning does postgraduate diploma in education, and it's very cheap. It's just how much do you call it now? 20,000 naira per course. Yes, it's just 20,000 naira per course. So if you are doing like 8 courses in a semester, That's 160K. It's still reachable. I mean, it's something you can still do. Then there's another question that was asked. The first question, how do you save for certification? You can save. Oh, see, they say where there is a will, there is a way. Now, I use myself as an example. I remember when I got to Lagos after youth service, I didn't plan to settle in Lagos. That's the truth. I came visiting. I just like, let me just spend 1 week in Lagos, then I go back to Abuja to job hunt, which was my supposed base. But while I was here in Lagos for that 1 week, I got a place I was doing part-time teaching ICT part-time, collecting 4,500 for part-time. From that 4,500, I discovered that, yes, I studied computer science. I studied statistics and computer science first degree. Now, I don't have practical knowledge of computer. I have theory. I registered in a computer center. I was supposed to pay 15,000 for the training. I remember they are paying me 4,500. I went to that place and I agreed with them that I will pay in installments. That's how I started my practical training. It was from there I got the 15,000 naira teaching job that I said I had with some of my friends. While I was in that 15,000 naira job, I was also still paying for my training. When I finished the 15,000 naira training, I registered for another training that was around 50,000 naira. Right? Yes, I was just sacrificing. I knew what I was chasing. So even when I got another job paying me 50,000 naira, so before now, it's now that I'm a bit lazy. Then a year doesn't pass without me doing any major thing in terms of training. Now what I do is just free courses that I've been doing. At times I apply for 8 and do it free and then all of that. But for me, it's intentionality. You can deny yourself some things. My younger brothers, I push them. You can't get money from me. I'll tell them, I'll push them. Go and study. When they start, I'll leave them halfway. Go and look for the money. You have to be intentional. There are some things you can deny yourself today. You cannot deny yourself in the future. So why not deny yourself today so that you set your future right than getting it now and suffering in the future? So it's all about intentionality and strategic planning. So you can, please. It may take you 6 months. It may take you 1 year, but it's achievable. It's achievable. So that's just my response to how you will save. It's achievable. I've said to free courses, Khan Academy, Udemy, Coursera. You can get all those sites. You get free trainings on education. Then if you go to AQ Skills, okay, they may pay little money. But just this few I mentioned, you see so many free this thing there, training. Khan Academy has a lot. Yes. To get opportunity, just work on the checklist I have given to you. That's the first step to working abroad. The checklist I've given you, work on the checklist. When you're able to work on your checklist, then you go online on LinkedIn. You can search for international vacancies in teaching. And if you're active there, you don't even need to search. There are so many people that have been sharing international, vacancies. Then you apply. But the truth is, it's not good you apply when you have not sought out your checklist, because you'll be frustrated when you would have been at the verge of getting it. They would not tell you, this is not there. And you get, discouraged. So get all those things done. Get the checklist, get your certification, get your CV updated, your LinkedIn profile updated. Then you search LinkedIn for, spaces abroad. You'll get it. I think 2 days ago, somebody shared a lot of spaces for, Middle East, Qatar, UAE, Saudi Arabia for teachers. It's there. But you need to, be able to get all these things ready. All the things I have outlined ready. The IGCSE, yes, you just go online. There's a site for it. It's done, I think it's done twice a year. The exam is taken twice a year. I don't know the current cost now, but it should be, I know it's almost 1,000. Should be up to 161, over 150 pounds now. So yes, but then if you work on yourself, you can always save for it. Then for those that want to go to US, you may have to do your WES evaluation. That also is money. But to do WES evaluation, you can also go online, read about WES evaluation and all of that. So if US is your target. So, but like I said, you compare everything. Each country has its own advantages and disadvantages. I don't know if I have answered all the questions. If I have, please go to the chat area and give me a yes. If we are okay, go to the chat area and give me a yes, so we can round up. Okay, so thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate you. Please, as you're adding your yes, add thank you, sir. Thank you. Tell him what you learned. You know the beauty of it. He's not charging us like he's a consultant. People pay him in dollars. But he just came here to come and give to us because he wants teachers to develop. I was thinking he would tell us how much he's earning. I know Avicenna pays a lot, but I was using style to tell us we want teachers to be rich. We want teachers that their children too can be proud to say, my mom is a teacher and I got access to the best education in the world. I traveled out for my university education. It's possible. And that is why he came. So thank you, sir. God bless you, sir. Thank you so much for coming.
Amen.
We appreciate your presence and we got a lot of value. And we will have posted his LinkedIn profile. Please, let's follow him. Follow him. He posts a lot of vacancies, even values, content. Please, I posted it again. Please follow him. Appreciate him on LinkedIn. Write a post. Beginning of being active. Nobody has LinkedIn on their palms. Everything is consistency and determination that no, I'm getting this LinkedIn. Write a post on this, screenshot the checklist. Write a post, tag him, tag me. Let people know that you are aiming for eyebrow schools. They will call you. A white man has reached out to me before on LinkedIn. A school at Abuja. The white man is the principal or regent school like that. They were giving me a lot of, there's hospital, there's accommodation, there's different things. So I said, no, I can't travel to Abuja and leave my children in Lagos. That's why I'm still here. So please, people will reach out to you when you are consistent. And that time I think I was just 3 months on LinkedIn. And the man reached out to me that they need an economics teacher. I should come and teach. I should come to Abuja. They will interview me. Please write this post. Tag him, tag me, tag anybody you know, and tell people what you want. People will reach out to you. I pray God will help us in Jesus' name. I will get the slides if it's possible, and I will send it to us. Thank you for joining in. God bless us. Thank you so much, sir. We can.
All right. Good night, everybody. All right. Bye for now.
Sir. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye, sir. Thank you. God bless us.
Amen.
Yes.